This is the secret history of the Western Sephardi Jews, also known as Atlantic Creoles. This is the history of the Afro-American and Latino Portuguese Jews in the Americas from 1492 to the present. These two women and the woman in the painting have a secret. But like all obvious things, sometimes a huge secret is hidden plainly out in the open. The open secret is that these are the children of Western Sephardic Jews, or Western Sephardi, or Portuguese Jews. We're going to investigate the history of the Spanish and Portuguese Jews, especially the Portuguese Jews, and explain definitions of people and places that might be unfamiliar with people who haven't studied the history of the Jews. We're going to use open source information so it will be easy to follow and verify the evidence of this topic for yourself. This is part 1 in an ongoing series on the history of the Spanish and Portuguese Jews, also called Western Sephardim, and Western Hemisphere. Who they are, how can you identify them, how did they come to North, Central, and South America and the Caribbean islands. A lot should be revealed, a lot of facts in this series. Let's start off or begin with the free encyclopedia, Wikipedia, on the article Spanish and Portuguese Jews. Spanish and Portuguese Jews, also called Western Sephardim, Iberian Jews, or Peninsula Jews, are a distinctive subgroup of Sephardic Jews. So Spanish and Portuguese Jews, also called Western Sephardim Jews, are part of a larger group known as Sephardic Jews. When we take a quick look of the definition for Sephardic Jews, going back to the Wikipedia, Sephardi Jews, also known as Sephardic Jews, Hispanic Jews, or Sephardim, are a Jewish ethnic division originating from traditionally established communities in the Iberian Peninsula, modern Spain and Portugal. Most were expelled from the region in the late 15th century. They had developed a distinctive diasporic identity that they carried with them to North Africa, southeastern and southern Europe, Anatolia, and the Levant, as well as the Americas. In all other places of their exile settlement, they sometimes settled near existing Jewish communities or were the first in new frontiers. Now, when we take a look at the Sephardim group as a whole and its subgroups, we can see why these distinctions are important to us. So let's take a look at North African Sephardim. North African Sephardim are a distinct subgroup of Sephardi Jews. So we're going to take a really quick look at these different subgroups, what languages they spoke, and what regions did they live in. North African Sephardim are a distinct group of Sephardi Jews who descend from exiled Iberian Jewish families of the late 15th century and North African Maghrebi Jewish communities. When Jews were expelled from Spain in 1492 and they fled to North Africa, they encountered pre-existing Jewish communities that lived in the area. The area of North Africa was known as Maghreb. The Maghreb is from an Arabic word, al-Maghreb, the West, also known as Northwest Africa, the Arab Maghreb, and Barbary is a sub-region of North Africa that is effectively a western part of the Arab world and is predominantly Muslim. The region includes Algeria, Libya, Mauritania, parts of West Africa, Morocco, and Tunisia. The Jews that lived in that area were labeled Maghrebi Jews. Maghrebi Jews, or North African Jews, are native Jews who had traditionally lived in the Maghreb region of North Africa, Al-Maghreb, Arabic for the West, under Arab rule during the Middle Ages. Established Jewish communities had existed in North Africa long before the arrival of Sephardi Jews expelled from Portugal and Spain. Due to proximity, the term Maghrebi Jews, Moroccan Jews, Algerian Jews, Tunisian Jews, and Libyan Jews often refer to Egyptian Jews as well. Raphael Patai, born Ervin Yogi Patai, was a Hungarian Jewish ethnographer, historian, Orientalist, and anthropologist. Raphael and Jennifer Patai, the authors of the book The Myth of the Jewish Race, records on page 35 to 36. The Jews in North Africa are of distinctively African appearance. While the Patais make the case that the North African Jews were indistinguishable from the Arabs and Berbers who they lived among, many authors, writers, historians, including Maurice Fishberg, the author of the book The Jews, A Study of Race and Environment, encountered Jews of such diverse variety that they concluded there was not a such thing as a single Jewish race. Let's take a look at some images of North Africans. So now that we took a quick glance at the people, the native people of North Africa, let's take a quick glance at the Jews of North Africa. So now we're going to take a look at the history of the Jews of North Africa from an institute of high prestige. So we're going to read an article on Jewish art and history from a museum on Jewish art and history. The museum is named Musée d'Art et d'Histoire du Judaism, or the Museum of Jewish Art and History. The Musée d'Art et d'Histoire du Judaism, or MAJ, in French is the Museum of Jewish Art and History, is the largest French museum of Jewish and art history. It is located in the Hotel de Saint-Ignace in the Marais district in Paris. The museum conveys the rich history and culture of Jews in Europe and North Africa from the Middle Ages to the 20th century. Its fine collection of religious objects, archives, manuscripts, and works of art promotes the contributions of Jews to France and to the world, especially in the arts. This museum has an exhibition of Jews in Morocco from 1934 to 1937, photographs by Jean Bessenat. From Tuesday, 30th of June 2020 to Sunday, the 2nd of May 2021. Jean Bessenat's photographs taken from 1934 to 1937 are a priceless record of rural Jewish communities in Morocco no longer in existence. Born Jean-Gerard Jean Bessenet, 1902 to 1992, trained in the École des Arts Décoratifs in Paris, he began his career as a painter, also studying French regional costumes. During a trip to Morocco in 1934, he took photographs of traditional dress with a grant from the Foreign Ministry. He stayed there again in 1935 and 1936, photographing men and women in different communities and carefully documenting their ceremonial dress. Jean Bessenat particularly explored Morocco's southernmost regions, little affected by westernization, where Jewish communities, sometimes present since antiquity, intermingle with the Berber population. Taken during the French protectorate, his photographs show the close proximity to his subjects that enabled him to combine both aesthetic and scientific concerns. They are an irreplaceable testimony to Jewish culture in Morocco, particularly female costumes and jewelry whose forms are sometimes the same as those of Muslim women. The exhibition brings together many of Bessenat's own period prints in public and private collections, with an audiovisual presentation of wide-ranging images from his original negatives. This is part of Jean's collection, a set of 4 photo panels entitled Judea of Morocco. We're going to get a closer look of all 4 photographs. So this is the first photo of a young woman dressed in the traditional clothing and jewelry of a woman of Judea of Morocco. So this is the second picture of a set of 4 photo panels entitled Judea of Morocco, or Jews of Morocco. It's a young lady in traditional dress and jewelry of the Jews of Morocco. In this picture, you can see 3 young women from a set of 4 photo panels entitled Judea of Morocco, or Jews in Morocco. In this last photograph, you can see an old woman from a set of 4 photo panels entitled Judea of Morocco. She's an older woman who's part of the group called Jews of Morocco. Jews of Morocco. I'm going to show a few images in color so you can appreciate the diversity and variety that existed amongst the Jews of Morocco. At this point in this narrative, you have more than you know regarding the information that the African Americans and Latinos are the children of the Western Sephardic Jews. But let's explore that history a little deeper. I want the viewers to get a second to process this information. There is an awareness of the identity of African American and Latino Jews in the Western Hemisphere. Some Jewish communities were not forgotten in the Jewish diaspora, just not well known to people who were not well versed in Jewish history. This museum and photographer are documenting this particular group. This project or channel ambition is to make this information clear for people who are interested in understanding the past, including Native Americans and populations in Europe, Africa, Asia, and the Pacific, and wherever the diaspora have been driven, lost, but never forgotten. Also, despite what people think, this is a popular topic amongst the world elite and people of culture. The study of history is spared no expense, with countless millions being spent to house the world's artifacts and art treasures, to store and record human activities of the past. Museums are a small part of the larger picture of what the public can see. There is so much we can't view, hidden away in people's private collections. The super rich find this important. Why don't we?